Have you ever found yourself feeling completely depleted, physically and emotionally, after spending time with someone, leaving you wondering why you feel worse instead of better? Perhaps you walked away with a heavy heart, or a sense of dread, or even a quiet resentment. Despite your best intentions to be helpful or supportive, it's a painful reality that as we navigate our seasoned years, our energy, our time, and our emotional reserves become more precious than ever. We want to be there for others, to offer a helping hand, to share our wisdom. But sometimes, the very act of helping can quietly drain us, leaving us feeling used, undervalued, and even unwell. It's a difficult truth, but not all gestures of kindness are received in a way that truly benefits everyone involved. Sometimes, our generosity can be exploited, and our peace of mind can be stolen, little by little. It's not about being selfish. It's about being wise. In this conversation, we're going to explore 7 specific types of people you might be better off stepping back from. Not out of malice or unkindness, but out of self-preservation and a profound respect for your own well-being. These are the individuals whose presence can slowly but surely chip away at your happiness, your energy, and even your financial security after 60. And make sure you watch to the very end, because I've got a powerful insight that might just surprise you and change how you view your relationships and your precious later years. So, let's begin this important discussion by gently identifying the first type of person who might unintentionally, or sometimes quite consciously, be quietly ruining your life, the constant complainer or the perpetual victim. Now, we all have moments when we need to vent, when life feels overwhelming, and we seek a sympathetic ear. That's a normal part of human connection. But the person I'm talking about here is different. This is the individual whose conversations are almost exclusively dominated by negativity, by complaints about everything and everyone, and by a pervasive sense of victimhood where nothing is ever their fault and nothing ever goes right for them. They will recount endless tales of woe. Their back hurts. The government is against them. Their neighbor is noisy. Their children never call. But when you offer a practical suggestion, a glimmer of hope, or a solution, it's immediately met with an excuse. Oh, I can't do that because, nor that won't work for me because. It's as if they are actively resistant to anything that might alleviate their suffering, because perhaps, in a strange way, their identity has become tied to their complaints. You might find yourself listening to the same grievance week after week, month after month, with no change in their situation and no apparent desire for it. They might call you, not to genuinely seek advice or support that leads to action, but simply to offload their negativity onto you, often for an hour or more, leaving you feeling utterly drained and helpless. Why does this type of person quietly ruin your life after 60? Because your emotional energy is a finite and precious resource. Every minute you spend immersed in their negativity is a minute stolen from your own joy, your own peace, and your own capacity to engage with life in a positive way. It can drag you down, make you feel overwhelmed by problems that aren't yours, and even lead to a subtle shift in your own outlook, making you more prone to negativity yourself. You start to anticipate the heavy feeling in your chest when their number pops up on your phone. To protect yourself, consider setting gentle but firm boundaries. When they launch into their usual litany of complaints, you can listen for a brief moment, express your sympathy once, and then gently pivot the conversation. You might say, "I'm truly sorry to hear you're going through that. Have you considered trying X or talking to Y?" If they dismiss it, you can then say, "Well, I really hope things get better for you." On a different note, I've been meaning to ask you about. Or, if it's a phone call, "I'm so sorry, but I actually have to run soon. I've got an appointment." The key is to offer a solution once, and if they refuse to engage with it, or if they simply want to vent indefinitely, you are not obligated to continue being their emotional dumping ground. Prioritize your own emotional health and gently disengage from conversations that are solely about complaint without any effort towards change. Now, Let's turn our attention to the second type of person who can quietly chip away at your well-being, the unreciprocating giver. This is someone who consistently accepts your kindness, your time, your energy, and your emotional support, but rarely, if ever, offers anything in return. The relationship becomes a one-way street, where you are always the one giving, and they are always the one taking. Think about it, you might be the one always driving them to appointments, but they never offer gas money or to drive you when you need it. You might spend hours listening to their problems, offering comfort and advice, but when you need an ear, they're suddenly unavailable or change the subject. They expect you to remember their birthday, their anniversaries, and their needs, but yours seem to slip their mind consistently. Perhaps they borrow small items and never return them, or they rely on you for favors that are convenient for them, but inconvenient for you. Why is this type of relationship so insidious after 60? Because it creates a profound imbalance and can lead to deep-seated resentment. Your generosity, which comes from a place of kindness and care, starts to feel exploited. You begin to feel used, undervalued, and taken for granted. This constant giving without receiving can deplete your emotional reserves, leaving you feeling exhausted and even angry. Your self-worth can take a hit when you realize your efforts are not appreciated or reciprocated. To navigate this, it's crucial to start setting clear, though perhaps uncomfortable, boundaries. This doesn't mean you stop being kind, but you become mindful of where you invest your precious resources. When a request comes in, pause and ask yourself if this person has ever reciprocated your kindness. If the answer is consistently no, it's okay to say no, or to offer help with conditions. For example, instead of just driving them, you could say, "I can give you a ride this time, but I'll need some gas money for the trip." Or, "I can listen for a few minutes, but then I have to get back to my own chores." It's about teaching people how to treat you and honoring your own value. Remember, healthy relationships are about a give and take, not just endless giving. Moving on to the third type of individual that can quietly ruin your life after 60, the financial leech. This is a particularly sensitive area, as it often involves close friends or even family members. These are the people who, perhaps repeatedly, ask for money, loans, or expect you to cover their expenses, often without a clear plan for repayment or a history of actually repaying. They might start with small requests. "Can you just spot me until my pension comes in next week?" Or, "I just need a little extra for rent this month." While genuine emergencies can happen, for the financial leech, this becomes a pattern. The money is rarely, if ever, seen again, and their requests become more frequent or larger. They might use guilt, emotional manipulation, or tales of hardship to get you to open your wallet. Why is this so dangerous? Especially after 60, because at this stage of life, your financial security is paramount. Your nest egg, your pension, your savings, these are meant to sustain you through retirement, cover unforeseen medical expenses, and allow you to live comfortably without stress. Every dollar you lend and don't get back is a dollar less for your own future, your own peace of mind, and your own enjoyment of life. It creates immense financial strain, leading to worry, anxiety, and even resentment. It can permanently damage relationships, as the borrower often avoids you, and the lender feels used and betrayed. To protect yourself from this quiet ruination, you must develop a firm and consistent no to lending money. It's one of the hardest boundaries to set, especially with family, but it's one of the most important if you decide to give money. Consider it a gift you don't expect back, and only give what you can genuinely afford to lose without any impact on your own financial stability. A compassionate but firm response might be, "I love you, and I truly wish I could help, but my financial situation doesn't allow for loans. My retirement savings are strictly for my own future and unexpected needs." Or, "I'm not in a position to lend money, but I can perhaps help you look for resources or advice on budgeting if you'd like. Protect your hard-earned money and your future fiercely. Your financial peace is non-negotiable." Now that we've talked about the constant complainers, the unreciprocating givers, and the financial leeches. Let's delve into another crucial category that can erode your peace of mind after 60. The boundary violator. These are the individuals who consistently disregard your personal space, your time, or your emotional limits. They might drop by your home unannounced, call you at inconvenient hours expecting an immediate answer, or pressure you to do things you're uncomfortable with, despite you having expressed your preferences. Think about the friend who shows up on your doorstep without a phone call, expecting you to drop everything and entertain them. Or the family member who repeatedly shares private information you told them in confidence, even after you've asked them not to. Perhaps they ignore your no to an invitation, pushing you to change your mind. Or they call you late at night when you're trying to unwind and get ready for bed, assuming you're always available. Why is this type of person so detrimental to your life, especially in your later years? Because consistent boundary violations chip away at your sense of control and safety within your own life. Your home stops feeling like a sanctuary. Your time feels less like your own, and your personal choices are constantly challenged. This can lead to chronic stress, anxiety, and a feeling of being overwhelmed because you're constantly on guard, anticipating the next intrusion. It makes you feel disrespected and can lead to burnout, as you expend energy constantly fending off intrusions or feeling guilty for not meeting their unspoken demands. To protect yourself, it's vital to clearly and calmly state your boundaries, and then to consistently enforce them. This might feel uncomfortable at first, as people who violate boundaries often react poorly when they are first set. For example, if someone shows up unannounced, you can kindly say, "It's lovely to see you, but I wasn't expecting anyone today. I prefer a call first to make sure I'm available, as I often have plans or errands." Or, if they call at odd hours, "I need to set a quiet time after 8 p.m., so I won't be answering calls then, but I'll be happy to chat in the morning." It's about teaching others how to treat you and honoring your own needs for peace and privacy. Your peace of mind and personal autonomy are invaluable, and setting boundaries is a strong act of self-care. Next, let's discuss the fifth type of person you might need to distance yourself from for your own well-being, the critic or underminer. This individual frequently belittles your achievements, points out your flaws, or makes sarcastic comments that chip away at your self-esteem, often disguised as just joking or only being honest. They might say things like, "Oh, you're still doing that hobby, I thought you'd have moved on by now." Or, "That's nice, but it's not as good as X." When you're genuinely proud of something you've done, perhaps they constantly highlight your age as a limitation, saying, "You really shouldn't wear that at your age." Or, "Are you sure you can still handle that?" They might dismiss your opinions or experiences, making you feel small or inadequate. Why is this so damaging, particularly after 60? Because at this stage of life, self-confidence and self-acceptance are crucial for living a fulfilling life. Constant criticism, even subtle digs, can slowly erode your self-worth, making you doubt yourself and your capabilities. It can lead to anxiety, a reluctance to try new things, and even depression, as you internalize their negative perceptions, instead of feeling empowered to enjoy your golden years. You might feel held back, judged, and diminished. You deserve to be surrounded by people who uplift you, celebrate your successes, and encourage your spirit, not those who tear you down. To protect yourself, limit your exposure to these individuals. When they make a critical comment, you don't have to engage with it. You can calmly state, "I don't appreciate comments like that," or simply change the subject. If their behavior persists, it's time to create more distance. Remember, you have the right to choose your circle, and you should choose those who add light and positivity to your life, not those who cast shadows of doubt. Then, there's the sixth type of person that can quietly ruin your peace, the drama creator or gossip monger. These are the individuals who thrive on conflict, constantly sharing negative stories about others, and trying to draw you into their disputes or gossipy conversations. They might call you to dissect someone else's personal problems in detail, spread rumors about mutual acquaintances, or try to get you to take sides in a petty argument that has nothing to do with you. Their conversations are often filled with negativity, blame, and a focus on the flaws and misfortunes of others. Why is associating with this type of person so detrimental to your life after 60? Because it creates an environment of mistrust and negativity that can permeate your own outlook. Engaging in gossip wastes your precious time and mental energy, which could be spent on more meaningful activities or peaceful pursuits. It can also damage your own reputation by association, as people might begin to see you as someone who is also involved in drama, or who cannot be trusted with confidences. More importantly, it chips away at your inner peace, leaving you feeling agitated, anxious, and perhaps even guilty for listening to or participating in such conversations. Your golden years should be a time of tranquility, not turmoil. To shield yourself, politely but firmly decline to participate in gossipy conversations. You can say, "I'd rather not get involved in that." Or, "I prefer not to discuss other people's personal lives." Change the subject to something positive or neutral. Or, if the conversation continues to be centered on negativity, politely end the call or excuse yourself from the situation. Your peace is far more important than knowing the latest drama or taking sides in someone else's conflict. Protect your mental space from the noise and negativity that drama creators bring. Finally, let's talk about the seventh type of person who can quietly ruin your life after 60, the enabler of bad habits, for themselves or for others. This is someone who constantly encourages unhealthy choices, pushes you to do things you're actively trying to avoid, or relies on you to clean up their self-inflicted messes. Perhaps you're trying to eat healthier, and they constantly offer you sugary treats or large portions, saying, "Just one more cookie. It won't hurt," or, "Oh, come on, you only live once." When you're trying to stick to your dietary goals, or maybe you're trying to limit alcohol, and they pressure you for just one more drink. It's also the person who, through their own irresponsibility or poor choices, consistently creates problems for themselves and then expects you to swoop in and fix them, or to constantly bail them out financially, emotionally, or practically. They never seem to learn from their mistakes because they know you'll always be there to pick up the pieces. Why is this so damaging? Because associating with an enabler can actively undermine your efforts to lead a healthy, balanced life. It makes it harder to stick to your personal goals, whether they are related to diet, exercise, spending habits, or simply managing your time effectively. Their influence can lead you back into old habits you're trying to break. Furthermore, constantly bailing someone out or cleaning up their messes is an enormous drain on your time, energy, and emotional well-being. It creates a cycle of dependency where they never truly face the consequences of their actions, and you become exhausted carrying their burdens. After 60, your focus needs to be on maintaining your health, your peace, and your independence, not on fighting against negative influences or managing someone else's chaos. To protect yourself, be firm and clear about your own choices. "No, thank you. I'm sticking to my healthy eating plan. I'm done for the night. I'm trying to prioritize my sleep." And most importantly, stop enabling their poor choices. It's an act of tough love, but it's necessary for both your sakes. Let them face the natural consequences of their actions. It might be painful to watch, but it's the only way they might learn. And it's the only way you can reclaim your peace and focus on your own thriving life. I truly hope this conversation has given you some valuable insights and food for thought about protecting your precious time, energy, and peace in these wonderful years of your life. It's not about being unkind or selfish. It's about exercising wisdom and self-respect. After 60, your well-being should be your top priority. You've worked hard. You've given much. And now is the time to truly nurture yourself and create a life filled with joy, peace, and purpose. Setting boundaries with these types of people isn't about pushing them away. It's about creating space for healthier, more reciprocal, and truly uplifting relationships to flourish in your life. It's about choosing to fill your days with people who genuinely appreciate you, who lift you up, and who contribute positively to your happiness, rather than quietly draining you dry. When you do this, you'll find you have more energy for your passions, more peace of mind, and a deeper sense of contentment. I'd love to hear your experiences. Have you encountered any of these types of people in your life? How have you handled similar situations? Or what strategies have you found helpful in protecting your own peace and energy? Share your thoughts and wisdom in the comments below. Your insights could truly help someone else who's struggling with similar challenges. If this video resonated with you, if it sparked a new thought or gave you courage, please give it a thumbs up. That simple gesture truly helps our channel reach more people who could benefit from this important message. And it lets me know that this content is valuable to you. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to my channel. We're building a wonderful community here, focused on living our best lives, full of wisdom, joy, and peace every single day. Remember, your golden years are meant to be a time of peace, fulfillment, and thriving. Protect your precious time, your invaluable energy, and your deep inner peace fiercely. Choose your circle wisely, and you will find your life quietly transformed, not ruined. Live your best life, full of purpose and joy. At every age,